3 and 4. We're waiting the green flag. Brad Keselowski has chosen the inside line. Martin Truex Jr. up on the outside line. Got one of Jamie McMurray, currently 8 points out of that transfer spot. The top 12 advance at the end of this race.
Move forward into the round of 12, you're going to have to be up in the first, second, third position.
As a driver, what are you feeling out here right now, Jeff? You've gone 10 Cup Series. 3 of those have come this year, although this is the 6th straight race that has been led by Martin Truex Jr., and that's the longest ever streak for Martin Truex Jr. as far as leading races. Jamie McMurray continues to close the gap between he and Kurt Busch in the 41.
So what Jamie McMurray is looking for right now, he's looking for the 41 to make a mistake, find a weak point. So right now we've seen the 41 not on the bottom of the track in turn 4. So this is the opportunity right here. Jamie's going to keep pushing that, trying to get alongside the 41 on corner exit. As they get into turn 1, Jamie's been watching the 41 get up the racetrack. He's thinking, can I roll the middle? Can I carry enough speed to get alongside the 41?
Outside the top 12, and it's 3 points. That's 3 positions on the racetrack. If Austin Dillon can gain those 3 positions, he would then be tied with...
Up on the pit box, I learned things. There were things that the crew chiefs and the engineers and everybody do. As a driver, you have no idea the amount of communication. And if you can understand their job a little bit better, I think you can help them do their job a little bit better. Give them...
Jeff, it would seem with 2 corners on each end of the racetrack, there would only be 1 apex.
To have the car pointed in the direction it needs to be pointed in and make enough for a grip so you can take advantage of that.
Yes, let's ride along into turn 1. He turns down, he gets to the apron right about there is the first apex, and then you're going to see he kind of comes up, he starts looking for corner exit, then he goes down right there is the second apex. There's really 2 corners within 1. As you say, when you go to Charlotte or another big 1.5-mile tracks, you kind of get in, get to the white line, run the white line around the corner and leave. Here at Dover, there really are 2 corners.
Imagine a long on-ramp coming on the interstate or going off the interstate. You get off the interstate, you make your first turn, and then it goes forever. You're kind of constantly turning the wheel, but then you got to turn it harder again to actually make that last turn as you start to approach the interstate. It's very, very similar to that.
So I will tell Kyle Busch that
where he is now. We saw him way up on the racetrack a little while ago. Now he's on the very bottom of the racetrack. That's what this racetrack allows you to do. It allows you to move around, change your entrance points, where you're on the bottom of the racetrack or where you are on the racetrack, period, to help your corner exit. So in making that adjustment, he's actually found a little bit of speed and starting to, I don't want to say run the 48 down, but he started to break even with the 48.
So that's a lot of talk about the guys who are running up in the first 3 positions.
Been told by a spotter, keep working that exit because that's where you're almost beating the 19 car of Carl Edwards. You see Edwards just squirting away there at the very last, but working the exit of that corner. Most of the day, it has been a tight race car for Austin Dillon. And what about the pressure of the chase? You see on the left there, he's still the first man out, only 3 points behind. When I talked to his crew chief, Slugger lap.
As Austin got to the 24 moved up the racetrack, took his line away from him. Now let's see if Austin can make some ground on the bottom. Had a good run off turn 2.
Well, that was nicely done, Jeff, entering the middle, not entering on the bottom, but trying to carry that momentum. See if he does the same thing down the cylinder as we get on board them. You see, keeps up right here in the middle of the corner. But watch on corner exit. The cars just drive away from him. The 23 easily passes him. This one of Jamie McMurray definitely has a power issue.
/drive on your personal computer now. It's the Citizen Soldier 400 from the Monster Mile. Martin Truex Jr. race leader, but he has won the marquee races in stock car racing.
Yeah, and such a good attitude. Jamie is, he just puts his head down and goes to work. And remember, he and his crew chief, Matt McCall, they're fairly new in their relationship. So they made big strides this year. They can take a lot of pride in that. They got to
get a challenge back from young Austin Dillon. That it was very loose at the start of the race. In fact, at the start of that last run, and he said that air pressure change.
18 and Kyle Busch getting by Keselowski.
So Brad drops back to 4th. Just 192 laps to go now. 191 as far as laps in this.
All that transaction that got him all the way back in 12th spot. So gave up 6 spots from where he was, and he just passed Tony Stewart to get to the spot that he's in. So they've got to find some short run speed in this car if they want to keep that track.
The remaining 9 will have to use points to advance into the round of 12. We see Austin Dillon working that hot.
Ran a 24-24. That, that's the time for the lap that they gave. So he knows what that means. Concise information, quick information. But the driver, the crew chief, and the spotter, they
yet to finish inside the top 10. Crew chief Greg Ives would certainly like to change that today, and said, Becky said that's one of the things that's been frustrating for this team is all season. Is they feel like they have been running better than where they have been finishing. They hope.
Car that last lap.
Yeah, he's flying. I mean, that's what we've seen the last two runs of this car. He fell way back at the start of this run, but he's gotten by a lot of people, and now he's run down. We just saw him get by Jeff Gordon.
Going into today, having a better position with everyone in the chase, except for the race winners, a similar performance would be more than enough to advance, and he's doing it today. Way down toward turn 1 because they wanted a constant speed for him all the way through, and guys not pulling out in front of him. It's been good for Austin today. No mistakes by the driver on
pit road while Dale Earnhardt Jr. sits atop the pit box watching on. Jeff has said that the car is a little bit tight once he gets to the center.
Chase drivers. Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, and Austin Dillon. Out of this group, it looks as though 2 will advance. Chase Elliott and Austin Dillon looking to make it into the round of 12 with just 15 laps to go.
And I think that Austin Dillon and his team, they have to feel really good about what they've done here today. This was the team, this was the race when I talked to him, he was worried